in this video we will discuss what are the factors which affects the elasticity of supply. That means what are the things which are responsible to determine the elasticity or the degree to which the supply changes will occur, whether it will be elastic or whether it will be relatively of low elasticity. First is nature of the commodity. Now there are two types of commodities. One is durable. Durable goods means it can be stored for a long time in the factories, in the warehouses, and which are not durable. These things are perishable items. That means it cannot be stored for a long time. Like vegetables, fish, egg, all these, they have an expiry date. They cannot be stored for a long time, like medicines. So nature of the commodity also influences what will be its supply, whether it will be elastic supply, that means its responsiveness will be more due to price changes, or whether it will be tending towards inelastic, that means supply will not fluctuate so much according to the price. Now for example, let us take, so nature of the commodity can be perishable items, and it can be, and there can be durable goods. Now perishable items means they dry up, they become rotten within a very short period of time, they cannot be stored. Suppose if price of these perishable items, if it goes down, then quantity supplied according to the law shall go down, but quantity supply, it cannot go down to a higher extent. Why it cannot go down to a higher extent? Because if price drops, the producers want to take advantage of price, right? So at reduced price, they will not be motivated to sell much more of the goods. So they want to hold it as stock, and later on they will be delivering in the market. But when the goods are perishable, can they be stored? If the price falls, can the perishable items be stored for a long time? No. So the suppliers, if they feel that if I reduce my supply to a higher extent, it may so happen that it will perish in the factory or the warehouse itself, and they will not be able to get even whatever price they are now getting. So the quantity supply of these products will not drop so much. So even the price drops at a higher rate, the quantity supply will definitely drop following the law of supply. Producers will not find incentive to sell it then, but it cannot drop much more. That means the supply cannot be elastic, it cannot be stretched. Why it happens? Because these are perishable items. If the producers drop the supply too much, then at a later date they will not be able to sell those. So they have to release the stock even at lower prices. So they will reduce the supply but not to a higher extent. So perishable items have low elasticity of supply. Now think about durable goods. Durable goods means fridge, TV, AC, which can be stored for a long time in the warehouses and maintained at stock by the producers. So if the price drops of durable goods, what will happen? The producers don't find it lucrative to sell it then. So they will reduce the supply by a greater amount. Why they are doing that? Because next time when the price will be rising in the market, they will be bringing and releasing the entire stock. And this thing can be done because the products are durable. So if the producers are facing a lesser price for the product, they will decrease their supply to a greater extent because the durable goods can be stored and can be released at a future date. So here for durable products, since supply can be stretched much further in response to price change, it is having elastic supply. Now going to the next point, that is time period of production. Now in a very short period of time, if suppose the price have increased, now producers want to sell more and more because they want to take the benefit of increased price. If they are getting more price for their product, more will be the profit, so that is the correct time to sell. But if the time period is very less, within very less time period, it becomes very difficult to go for large scale production, and everything cannot be arranged in a very short period of time, like men, raw materials, labor, machineries, land for factory setup. So what happens, the entire production process cannot speedily change due to change in price. So even if the producer wishes to supply more, they cannot increase their supply much beyond a certain point. That means when price increases, producers definitely increase their quantity supplied by releasing the stock and producing some items, but they cannot increase the supply to a higher extent due to the short time period. They cannot arrange everything required in the production process, and it cannot be geared up to that level. So what we can see, with change in price, quantity supplied increases, but not to a large extent when the time period is short. But if the price increase prolongs for a long time period, the producer knows that this price will continue for 5 to 10 years. So he gets enough time to arrange his production and take the benefit of increased price and supply more in the market. So here the supply change is more than the price change, and it is elastic. So when the time period is more, then the supply is elastic. Now going to the third point, cost of production. Now you know, in order to produce any commodity, X commodity or Y commodity, you have to arrange land for production, labor for production, capital or machineries, and raw materials. Now when you are arranging so many things for producing X and Y commodity, you have to pay particular price factor payments. These are the factors of production. And land, you have to give rent. Labor, you have to give them wage. Machineries, you have to purchase. Materials also you need to purchase. So there is a cost involved, cost of production involved when you are trying to produce any commodity. Now suppose the price of X has increased in the market. So producers are getting a higher price if they are able to sell X in the market. But the cost of production is too high. So they have to, so if the price increases, the producers who are producing X commodity will definitely want to increase the supply of X to a greater extent. But they cannot do so. Why? Because suppose the cost of producing X is too high. That means in order to produce X and supply X in the market, the producers have to bear the cost of all the factors, which is very high. So when the cost of production is very high, the producers cannot increase the supply of those products so much, even if they want to take the advantage of price rise. So in relation to the price change, quantity supply increases by a lesser amount. So we have inelastic supply or low elasticity of supply in this case. So when the cost of production is too high for any product, say X, even if the producer wants to take advantage of increased price, he wants to supply more in the market, he supplies more, but he cannot increase it beyond a certain point, because for increasing supply he needs to produce first, which involves a very high cost of production. So he will be able to increase the supply to a limited amount, so it should have a low elasticity of supply. And what happens if the opposite case, suppose he is also producing Y, and if price of Y has gone up in the market, cost of producing Y is less. That means for producing Y, the cost involved in producing Y in the engaged land, labor, capital and material is less. So when price increases in the market, the producer is willing to sell more of Y, and he can do that because its production cost is less. So by bearing a lesser cost of production, if I want to increase my supply to take the advantage of price rise, I can increase the supply to a greater extent. So here it is fairly elastic. So when the cost of production of the product is less, the producers will try to produce that commodity and try to immediately sell a higher quantity in the market to take the advantage of price rise. So it becomes more or less elastic. Then comes availability of raw materials. Now suppose price of X commodity has increased, the producers are wanting to supply more of X to take the advantage. But again we have to go to the production. So X can be increased, X's supply can be increased if X's production also occurs side by side. Now X production requires some raw materials, and if the raw materials are not available or available in lesser amounts, can I increase the production of X to the higher extent? No. Then can I increase the supply to a higher extent? That is also not possible. So if price increases, the producers will be increasing their supply, but the supply increase will be very less, because in order to supply X product in the market, you require to make X involving the raw materials. So if raw materials are only less, you cannot get the end product X, and you cannot supply more to take advantage of price rise. So here also, if the raw material is less, the quantity supplied will be less in relation to the price change, so it will be of low elasticity. And if raw materials are plenty, its availability involves not so much of cost, then X will be readily produced to take advantage of price rise situation. The quantity supplied will be much more in the market, and it will be fairly elastic. And last point, we are going to future expectation of supplier. So suppose I am the producer, I am the one who is supplying in the market. When price rises, I want to supply more. When price decreases, I want to supply less. But what if the present price is P1 and price has increased to P2? So price has increased, I want to supply more now. But what if I expect that in future this commodity's price will increase further? So what should I do? As a rational producer, what should I do? When I expect that price will increase much further, so I should maintain my stock and not supply too many products now. And later on, when the price rises, I will be supplying more of the commodity. So if my future expectation is too high, that prices will be high in future, then at the current price increase, I will not be interested to supply much more. So in relation to price rise in the current period, I will not stretch my supply to that extent. So it will have a low elasticity of supply. Why? Because I expect the future prices to rise much further. So that will be the ideal time when I will be stretching my supply much more. And if the reverse, conversely, if whatever is the current price, say P1, and price is increased a bit, and I expect that future prices will fall. That means in future if I store the product and sell, I will get a profit cut down. So my profit will decrease. So if I expect that my future prices of the product will fall, it is better to sell at the current prices. So the quantity supplied in the current will be much more in relation to the price. So even if the current price increases slight, I will be changing my supply to a higher level because I expect future prices to fall. So here you will have fairly elastic supply. Now you need to remember all the factors which affect supply. The subheadings: nature of commodity, time period, cost of production, future expectation and availability of raw materials, and what are the situations that result in less elasticity of supply and what are the situations which result in higher elasticity of supply. For example, what I have said, in case of perishable goods where the producers cannot hold the stock, the elasticity of supply is less. That means even if price decreases, they are not decreasing the supply to a greater extent because they cannot store the product. But in case of durable goods, the supply is fairly elastic because product can be stored. So if they are not facing a greater price or a good price in the market, they will be decreasing the supply to a larger extent in order to sell when the price rises. So it will be elastic. So in this way you have to remember all of them. The relation between supply and marginal cost. Now these two are totally different concept, but a point somewhere they converge. You know that marginal cost or any cost curves is U-shaped. So marginal cost, what does it indicate? Why it is U-shaped? So initially, and here you measure the quantity. So initially when you are producing 1 unit, the cost is too high. When you increase the production to 2 units, the cost decreases. When you are increasing again, the marginal cost means per unit cost. Why this per unit cost decreases? Suppose you already have the stock of raw materials. So when you are producing the first unit, you are bearing the total cost of raw materials. Now when you slowly increase the production, you basically use the old stock of goods as well as you have to buy a minimum requirement. So what happens? I also gave you one example that suppose you are painting or a painter. He will start his first painting. So before starting his first painting, he buys, the colors are not available 1 or 2. So he has to buy a total 24 set colors, the brushes, the canvas, everything. Now when he makes the first painting, it feels costly for him because he had to buy so many products. But when he delivers the second unit of the painting, his cost is less. Maybe he is buying only 1 canvas for putting up the painting, but he can use the previously bought colors and the brushes. So he is not, the second unit, when he increases the second unit of production of a painting, his marginal or for unit increase in painting, the unit increase in cost is quite less. So initially when the quantity of production increases, the cost falls and it is minimum when 4 units of output are produced, and afterwards it rises. It rises means after 4th unit, this is the unit of production when you can get it at the minimum cost. Afterwards what happens, when you exceed the production from 5, 6, the cost generally increases. So if the painter wants to deliver 6, 7, 8 paintings every day, definitely he cannot do it up with the raw materials he have. he has to increase the cost with every delivery of the output. So marginal costs tend to increase later on after exceeding 4 units of quantity. Now supply curve is also given by marginal cost curve. You know the supply curve is the upward rising portion, or it looks like this. Now why the supply curve is not lying in this portion? MC curves, this portion is downward sloping, what you can see, and supply curve is upward sloping. So this part is not the supply curve. There is also a reason why it is not the supply curve. When you can see that on increasing the production or output, your cost is falling, will you stop over here? When you can see that my cost is falling if I produce more and more, so you will definitely want to take advantage of the situation and will continue until you face the minimum cost. So you will continuously produce till 4th unit, because that is giving you the minimum point till where the cost can drop, after which it tends to rise. So this is not the point where supply takes place, because a supplier or a producer, he will go on producing more units, because in this zone he gets a cost advantage. If he produces more, his cost reduction takes place. Then this upward rising portion which you can see, that is also known as the supply curve. So the upward rising portion of MC is also the supply curve. Okay, so here what you can see, here the production increases. Since the production increases the cost. When you move to 5th unit, the cost is this one. When you move to 6th unit, the cost increases, because in this diagram we are showing the cost and output relationship. A producer has to check the cost and output relationship to determine the price and output relationship, because whatever price I ultimately get in the market has to be such that I can cover up the cost of production. So a producer bears the cost to produce the output, and afterwards it supplies the output according to the price. So depending on his cost will depend how much he will be able to supply at the current prices. So here you can see after 4th unit of production, when the producer produces 5th unit, his cost increases. So definitely he will be willing to supply 5 units if he gets a higher price, because it involves a higher cost. Similarly, when the producer produces 6th unit, his cost increases. So he will be ready to sell the product when he gets even higher price for it. So the supply of the quantity will increase in the market if the prices also increase, because greater the quantity supplied, suppose 3 units are supplied, for producing 3 units there is a particular price required. So the producer will be ready to sell 3 units if he gets a correct cost covering price. So this part, upward rising part of MC, gives you the supply curve. Now sometimes the cost reduces. What do you mean by cost reduction? That means when you are producing, you are requiring less money, and if you require less money to produce, then now at this point of time you can produce much more because the cost has decreased. So I am just showing you over here in this diagram only have seen, this is the MC curve I have drawn. The minimum point, that means minimum cost, occurs at level of output, that is 4 units. Now if cost drops, that means for producing every unit now I am incurring a lesser and lesser price. So what will happen? The MC curve shifts rightward. Why it shifts rightward? Because now at the same minimum cost, he can produce more item. See, 5th unit can also be covered now, because each unit can be produced at a lesser and lesser cost, means when the MC arrives at minimum, it can at least have produced more units of output. Suppose when the price of pen is 10 rupees, I am buying 1. When the price of pen becomes 5 rupees, I can buy 2 pens. So similarly, if the price reduces, if the cost reduces, I can produce more. So for every unit the cost reduces, and when it reaches the minimum cost, I have covered, instead of 4 units production, I have produced 5 units. So the producer feels that costs have decreased, so he can produce more. So when costs have decreased, then at the minimum point you will see the producer, instead of 4 units, is now able to deliver 5 units in the market. So a rightward shift takes place. So at the same cost, he can deliver or he can produce more. Similarly, if the cost reduces, then he is also ready to supply more, because production, if he can increase at reduced costs, he will also be ready to supply more at the existing price. So MC curve's upward rising portion gives you the supply curve. So when MC shifts rightward, what happens? This upward rising portion of the new MC curve is this one. Earlier, this is the supply curve, not this portion. When the MC shift rightward, this U-shaped curve, this cannot be, the falling arm cannot be the supply curve. The rising arm is the supply curve. So you can see that supply, if MC curves, this portion is the supply curve. Earlier supply was this, now the supply will also increase. So at the existing price, the supply will increase. Earlier at P1, the producer wants to sell only 2 units of output. Now at P1, existing price, the producer is ready to sell 3 units of output. So at the existing price in the market, the producer wants to supply more than previous, because his costs have reduced, which has enabled him to produce more, and production more means he can bring and supply more. So if MC, so from here what can you gist up? The upward rising portion of MC also indicates the supply curve, and when the MC shifts rightward, when it shifts, when the cost is falling, then what happens? Producer can produce more products at a minimum cost, so they will be ready to supply in the market also more. So MC shifts rightward, supply curve also shifts rightward. It means at existing price I will be supplying, or the producer will be supplying more.